Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 German Battleship, Tirpitz. Alright, so for my recommended build for the Tirpitz, auxiliary armament, improved health pool in your secondary AA is pretty nice for the German battleship line, improved secondary gun range, of course, lower chance of flooded fire, faster rate of shift concealment, preventative maintenance, expert marksman, adrenaline rush for aggressive play, basic firing training, vigilance to cover up that lack of hydro, manual secondary, and advanced firing training. Overall, pretty beastly German battleship. And here we are. We are on the map north in the ship Tirpitz. It would be funny if it was like, I don't know, the Hubadovsk or the Mogami. No, it's the Tirpitz, of course, after all that intro. So 380mm guns. We have torpedoes, which is a unique trait compared to the sister ship of the Bismarck. Now, the Bismarck does have hydroacoustic, though, and hydroacoustic is pretty nice. In fact, it's part of the reason why I choose to pick up Vigilance on the Tirpitz versus Superintendent, which is what I would recommend you take instead on the Bismarck. And the only reason I say that is because hydroacoustic is great for people who expect torpedoes. You can preemptively use it, or use it in a situation where you are aggressively pushing forward and you know torpedoes are coming. I would love to have another charge, so I can do that more often. And yes, you can see the matchup. It's pretty reasonable. We are top tier. We're going to see how well we work out in this game. I chose this game because it really shows off every single aspect of the Tirpitz. Its armor, its firepower, its specialty, the torpedo system, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. Now, initially, I was going to move towards the closest threat that is this middle gap right here. Usually it's the C point on the domination mode. This is the 7-8 line. Now, I was detected, and I can obviously see my detection range is something like 14.3. I wanted to tell my team immediately I'm detected. So this is the section I believe the enemy ship exists in. And I pinged out all the little squares because it's important that people know. And then, of course, I get someone in chat telling me to shut up. And I go, what? Why would I shut up? I'm telling you vital information that is important. I was detected. I saw the line, the threshold of detection, and of course, there is an enemy. And our aircraft, beautiful aircraft, detects the torpedoes. We're able to slow down just enough so it won't hit us. And now we know that the enemy Benson has used their smoke, used their torpedoes, and their last known position is on this flank. So my team should be a little bit more comfortable. And I really don't appreciate this player. This player is very ignorant. I gave a lot of information to my team that they could use. It's very important that you identify where the destroyer is because, let's face it, you take those suckers out, it's a much easier game. Now, the build, manual secondary, advanced firing training, secondary gun range, all that stuff. You need to make sure that you actually target a ship with manual secondary. It will not fire unless you target. And obviously that's control-click. Everyone knows that. Just make sure you do that. I have a bad habit of forgetting to do that. Possible targets in range. It's very important that you do that. Now, the friendly Leningrad was a really nice teammate. Popped smoke just for me. I was unable to come to a complete stop. She's a big girl. Let's face it. She's thick. Thicc. Very thick. Especially to her cousin, the Scharnhorst, which is coming this way. And I'm just going to fire with both secondaries and my main battery. We are on the edge of sending torpedoes at a potential target that might get a little close. I'm hoping that someone will come close so I can use my torpedoes. But I'm not going to send them unless I feel like, enough time has passed, someone is coming, I just don't have any information. And that's why I write out in chat, hey, Nagato, would you be a dear and use your aircraft, please? Because there's a lot of islands blocking line of sight, smoke. If we get an aircraft up, maybe we can catch sight of an enemy advancing. It's a really great strategy. Hint, 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 guys. If you're close to an island, to use it, you'll detect those battleships, and then you might detect enemy Benson, a little aggressive. We know you don't have smoke. Now, you could have torpedoes, so we got to be careful. And conveniently, he's going right in front of my blind torpedo send, and are we going to actually... Oh, we did! We did nick him, and he was taken out. So, readjust my manual secondary on the Scharnhorst, who is trying to push forward. He felt like, I'm going to support my teammate in Leningrad. No! Oh, he didn't have to do that. He could have just stayed in the back, shot his guns, been a bro with smoke, but pulled back, but no. He is moving forward too fast, and he's dead. We've got another great teammate. Duke, Texas, thank you. Kagero gives me smoke. Teammates assist in the destruction of the Scharnhorst. I just get lucky and have the last bit of damage. I don't want to take the torpedoes that the Scharnhorst could have, and I think it did indeed try to send them out. But this flank is sealed up. Maybe Pensacola? And I really love this position on the map. Obviously, this isn't a position that is hidden, unknown. A lot of people set up here. It denies line of sight for most of the enemy. And you can do this on the other side of the island. But in the southern portion, it's much better. You could use it to transition your shots over to the western flank and the eastern flank. Whereas, if you're on the north, you sort of have to get on the outside, the exterior, to even have a chance to fire in. So, to some extent, I feel like the southern flank has an advantage. Just north of their spawn, and I really don't see a position quite as strong for the north. You might argue that over by the western flank, the island is a little bit more helpful, but I think it's kind of a push. That single island loves to have battleships on the corner, both north and south, and you really don't change that. So the Pensacola didn't want to take the bait. I wouldn't take the bait. After you see two friendlies die like that, no. Sims might take the bait, but I just wanted to try and support the other flank in some manner. I just didn't feel like the enemy was interested in killing themselves more. Why would they continue to go down a flank that friendlies have already died very quickly? Nobody has lost health in any significant manner on my team on that flank, so I just don't think the enemy's going to read it as an aggressive play. Could be wrong. I have been wrong before, and I know I'll be wrong in the future. It's just the way it works out. But we're in range, both secondary and main battery, on the New Mexico. So open up. Enemy cruiser, another enemy battleship. Pensacola's back over here. I would love to shoot the Pensacola, but the Pensacola's like, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Don't want anything to do with that battleship. And I showed a little bit too much side, honestly. I was a little too aggressive pushing forward. I wanted to try and get a shot on one of those cruisers. You can basically one-shot cruisers. If you get the right RNG, right dispersion, the right angle by the enemy, you can. However, I do know for a fact that Pensacola, he's actually a pretty good player. So I should have just assumed he's not going to show his side. Yeah. So we took a lot of damage. Unnecessary damage. We're not really trading that well. I'm leading the target incorrectly. But the teams are still close. We have a very tiny advantage. And I'm hoping that we can continue getting that advantage. However, as I'm looking around, I'm noticing a trend. A lot of my teammates are actually very low. That's not good. That's not good at all. The Gneisenau is burning next to me. I'm burning, of course, but it's a single fire. I don't know that the Gneisenau is going to survive because the fire is on him. The enemy Tirpitz seems to have transitioned. Yes, yes, we do indeed lose. Plus, we lose the Cleveland. I don't know what the Cleveland was doing. Maybe it was trying to follow me, but it was clear that gap was closed, and oh my. Game has turned rapidly. We are down 4 ships. No, 3 ships. Learn to count, Notser. We've got 3 ships down, and it's just not looking good. I need to try and trade. Well, not trade. I need to try and get some kills without trading health. Maybe this enemy cruiser would oblige? Show too much side? Have the Tirpitz rebalance you, maybe? Trying to overpin. We missed the Citadel. And I'm not confident in this. I can't afford to have more than one flank engaging me. I have to try and punish something. Punish one flank for overextending, showing too much side. I can't allow the western flank to just give ground. What the Tirpitz was going to do, he's just going to give ground, force me to chase. When I would chase, his teammates would get flanking fire, and I would just slowly die. Conversely, we could force the enemy to come towards us, hoping that they'll actually do it, even though they don't need to do anything at this point. And we have the enemy Kiev. Kiev's about 14 kilometers, and some of you might go, oh, don't take that shot. And of course, I hit a couple in the island, but I think it's worth the risk. Hoping to get a little bit of damage on him. Ooh, we did indeed get damage on him. That might actually turn out pretty well, because one of them was a regular penetration shot. How low is he? Oh, wow, he's pretty low. Of course, he drops off detection. And now I'm out in the open. This is bad. I'm detected out in the open with enemies firing from smoke. I've got to get cover. I've got to rush over to the island and hope that something will drop line of sight. Is the aircraft going to be too close? Who's it attached to? Is it something like the Pensacola, who is close? Is it potentially that battleship? I don't know. I'm just trying to get out of this line of sight from the Kiev, because he could just free fire. Easy damage. Easy velocity on those shells. Now, you did see the velocity of the shells, 820. It's nothing spectacular. It's okay. It's workable. This is a ship that really relies on its brawling potential. Getting in fairly close and using that fast turret traverse, the fast rearm, plus the Citadel protection. The Citadel basically makes you immune at very close range. They can't Citadel you because of the angle of that turtleback. It should ricochet up. Now, plunging fire is devastating against Germans. If you are so fortunate that you have a shell at super long range that plunges down through the superstructure, you will plunge through the deck, through the Citadel, and do massive damage. But good luck hitting that shot. That's all I gotta say. Good luck hitting that shot. So my team, we are now 4 ships versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have twice as many ships, but the Kiev did push forward aggressively. Probably not the thing you want to do, especially with teammates playing defensively. And I want to try and catch one of the enemies that was pushing through that gap, maybe a straggler. Maybe they're trying to follow their team, but they're not doing it as well as they should. I could fire on them, plus this giant island's going to be in the way. If the island's in the way, I can continue to push forward and limit the number of enemy targets that can engage me to 1 or maybe 2. That is what I am planning to do. We do indeed see an Indianapolis. Indianapolis is not particularly the most impressive ship. It does have radar at tier 7, but that's about it. So I fire at the Indianapolis and we get 2 regular pins, which isn't too bad. I would prefer Citadel. I've already used up all my heals. Boy, Superintendent would be really nice right now. Yeah, I'm sure it would. I did think for a second, let's fire that Mexico, but no, this guy's showing too much sign. So we slightly elevate the gun as he turns away from us, and we take him out with a citadel. Just one mistake in a cruiser, especially American or maybe even German, any cruiser, let's be honest, against a battleship, you're going to be taken out. So we've got New Mexico, we've got the French cruiser, I believe. We've got the Amagi, or the, Amagi. There's something else. There's another destroyer somewhere. And that Tirpitz way off in the distance. He's not a threat to me at all. And I was taking a lot of damage at this point. I was like, I can't continue pulling forward. I have to pull back. And yes, here's that Pensacola. Evil Pensacola. He knows where he needs to operate. He is operating with the assumption that he can maintain distance from me. I am the most important target for him to avoid. And we get a nice, slick citadel on the target. Do about 12,000 damage. Earn Confederate. And I'm going to move away. Not from the Pensacola, of course. I'm going to move away, and his engine's knocked out, by the way, so I fire directly at him. I want to move away from his teammates. I want to make it a 1 versus 1. And with his engine being knocked out, maybe I should have slowed down. However, the enemy Tirpitz is pushing forward rapidly, and he is threatening my team, so he is actually more important, even though I could probably kill that Pensacola with 1 or 2 more salvos. I don't want to lose a teammate. And I am on the flank of the Tirpitz, so my goal is to just get chip damage. Hopefully they can torpedo him or shoot him dead. Either way, we're going to be in a good position to finish him off. And we get pretty lucky with some of that dispersion. Enemy destroyer seems to be pushing this way for whatever reason. Yeah, see it, Tirpitz is pushing this way for whatever reason. But we lose sight of him. Hopefully the Nagato will reacquire. Oh. Secondaries. Make sure you set that secondary if you're using manual secondary. We fire, of course, at the target. Some of the guns go a little wide, but some are right on target. And it's just me and the friendly Nagato, and I'm trying my best to limit the number of targets that could take me out, because I have no health. And yes, they would very much like me to die. Come on, show yourself. Oh, of course, the island. Wait him out, Notser. It's okay. You can get him. You can totally take him out. Secondaries do hit the target. Do a little chain fire spread. Come on, disperse the target. Yes. He was charging. I felt like he had torpedoes ready to go, and he was just going to use it point blank. He probably was like, no tears, only dreams. He had everything in his grasp, and then he didn't. Of course, Solo Warrior is on the table, Notser. We can do it. I don't really have a lot of hope. And, Pensacola. My Pensacola. Wouldn't it be a shame if we were to kill you? And I feel like he's going to maneuver. But I can't really worry about anything other than trying to maybe get a little bit of damage. Ooh, a little bit of damage. Enemies try to fire on me. Remember, we have 2 enemy battleships and 2 enemy cruisers left. I don't really have the health to do any of this activity. And the Pensacola drops off. So, what do we do? The enemy is clearly not going to lose the game, because they're not going to be stupid. Could we get another kill? I'm hoping that Pensacola will make a mistake and move forward a little bit too fast. Conversely, that New Mexico will probably be in front of me somewhere. I don't know where anyone else will be, of course, but I'm just going to take as many with me. You're just going to grab them and take them to the bottom of the ocean with you, because you know where you're going. We all know where I'm going. It's just whether I can get one with me. And, it's just not looking good. Fire my gun. Cue the Pensacola, of course. The guy knows what he's doing. He chose to fire on me once he saw my gun fire. I don't blame him at all. That's exactly what you need to do in that scenario. I do have him set as my secondary if he continues pushing forward, and I just want to kill him. We're so low. We're so close to dying. I don't really care about the shells hitting me. I just want to kill him. Die! Ah! Just couldn't do it. But hey, the Tirpitz performed great. It is a fantastic ship. Great brawler. Confederate. 4 kills, 134,000 damage done. There's nothing to dislike about the ship. 1,413 base XP. It's just like the Bismarck, only one thing is different. Torpedoes versus hydroacoustic. Plus you get premium. I highly recommend this for anyone who likes any battleship play, but especially Germans. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.